Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alana, and in today's video I figured I would sit down and give you a little life update because my life has been all over the place the last 4 months. So I think the last time I gave a life update on this channel I was about to move to Nicaragua and start my dream job, and that was 4 months ago now. So I was in Nicaragua, I was working at a yoga retreat center, and it seemed like the dream from the outside. It was run by this really popular Instagram yoga teacher, and I was super excited. It was supposed to be a 9-month job contract. And then I got there and I realized everything seemed a lot better online, as it usually does. And so while the yoga retreat center was very beautiful online, what you didn't see online was how much they were paying their local workers or how they interacted with their local community, like in real life, versus how they were advertising. And also the yoga teacher herself wasn't exactly how she seemed to be online, and also how I interacted with her while I was working for her online. So it was just not the environment that I was anticipating. And so ultimately I left that job early. Hi, editing Alana here. I quit, my co-manager quit, and then they replaced us with 2 new girls. And since I filmed this life update, those 2 new girls have also quit. They replaced them with someone else. That new person quit after 2 days. So I no longer feel like I was being dramatic or over-exaggerating things because, yeah, that place is just not good vibes. Not good vibes. And it was actually cheaper to fly out of Costa Rica than to fly out of Nicaragua. So that's why I ended up taking the bus down to Costa Rica and spending 2 weeks there, because it was cheaper to fly out there, and I'm not going to go to Costa Rica and not stay in Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica. That was actually my second time in Costa Rica. If you didn't know, I studied abroad in Costa Rica in 2019. I studied Spanish. And that trip was actually the first time I ever backpacked alone. I stayed a week after the study abroad and just went to a town by myself, and that was probably the experience that led to me living my life to how I'm living it now. But anyways, I went to Costa Rica, and just something about the nature there and the people there and their attitudes, I just completely forgot about the terrible experience that I had at that job in Nicaragua, and I just felt so at peace. I was like, yes, this is great. I'm so happy I came here instead of just going straight back home. And then as my flight back home was approaching, because I booked a flight while I was still in Nicaragua, unfortunately, and as my flight was approaching, I was like, I really don't want to go back to the winter. I want somewhere that I can go that's still this weather, still the Caribbean vibe, relaxed, but maybe a little bit less expensive than Costa Rica, because it was approaching Christmas and New Year's, and Costa Rica's prices were going up then. So ultimately I'm glad I left, but I miss Costa Rica. But anyways, I ended up getting recommendations to go to the Dominican Republic, and so I came home for Christmas, but then immediately after New Year's I flew off to the Dominican. And if you want the full story of why and how I ended up there, go follow me on TikTok, because I share a lot on TikTok these days. But that trip, I really didn't have any plan. I just kind of ended up in this tiny town and just stayed there for a month and a few weeks. It was the longest I had stayed in one place since I left Nicaragua, and before Nicaragua I hadn't stayed in one place for longer than 2 weeks. So just settling in at this one hostel and not moving was actually really nice. Because also while I was in the Dominican Republic I met a few cool people, but it was also a time of a lot of self-reflection and really thinking what do I want? Do I want to be continuing this life of international travel? Do I want to work in these places like a yoga teacher in these hotels that maybe don't treat the locals very well? Do I want to be contributing to that? Do I want to continue this backpacking life more full time? Should I pursue that? Or do I want to move back into my car in the United States and continue saving up for a different camping vehicle? Because honestly, I can't do both. I can't save up for a vehicle and I can't continue traveling. I do travel like very cheaply, and if you want like a whole breakdown of how much I spend while I'm traveling, I have a few videos on that. I'll link them in the description and in the cards here, but I travel for less than I was spending in the United States to live in the United States in an apartment full-time a year and a half ago, so I'm assuming it's more expensive to live in the United States full-time now. But yeah, while I was in the DR, I just did a lot of meditating on the beach and like, what do I really want? And as you can kind of tell by how I framed both of those things, I definitely want to save up for a different vehicle, even though I love Rhonda the Honda and I'm going to continue camping in her this season. She's probably not my forever home, unfortunately. So I guess that leads me to now. I'm at my grandma's house. It's nice and cozy. It's cold outside, but it's nice and cozy inside. And I'm planning on using this time at my grandma's to clean out my car. So maybe at the end of this video I'll insert some footage of me cleaning out my car and reorganizing that. But yeah, moving back into Rhonda the Honda, and I'm going to do the road trip thing again. I think I'm starting a month earlier than I did last season, so I'm hoping to catch wildflowers in Colorado and then hopefully not get stuck in Colorado like I did last year, and I want to go more north. I'm saying that in this video because I feel like I'm gonna get stuck in Colorado and I do want to go more north. I want to go to national parks because I have the year pass, and so like I gotta use it up. But some of them are Big Bend in Texas, the Great Sand Dunes in Colorado, because I tried to go to the Great Sand Dunes last year and it was raining, so kind of ruined the vibe for me, and I had to continue driving south to go to a concert. Gosh, Krugman is so good! Anyways, and then honestly I could hit up White Sands and the Rocky Mountain National Park again, even though I went to those last year. They're just so beautiful. And I filmed some of my course in White Sands last year, so that would be cool to like film some updated course videos in the same place, because every time I look at those videos I'm just like, oh. Anyways, it would also be cool to make it up to Glacier National Park and the Tetons, because I went to the Tetons when I was a kid, but I haven't been back since. But anyways, that's just kind of like a rough outline of what I would like to do. I'm also going to continue house sitting with trusted house sitters because I had a lovely experience with that last year, and that I was honestly just so sad to leave house sitting, so I'm really excited to be back. But also, since getting back, I can't help but sit and reflect and be like, wow, I'm glad I didn't just stay. Like, there's so many lessons and like things that I had to grow through in the last 4 months of traveling to these 3 different places, and like I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I had the ability to have these experiences and learn from them. But I think I'm finally coming to terms with the fact that maybe the dream that I had when I was 16 of being this international backpacker and just traveling full time, like that looks really cool and that's awesome for other people to do, but maybe that's like not my thing. Because yes, traveling has really helped me confront my anxiety and deal with my anxiety, but at the same time, in the Dominican Republic, I kind of realized like, okay, it's cool that I'm able to expose myself to these things, become anxious, and then talk myself out of it, and like I'm able to deal with it, but I don't have to force myself to do it. Like, I don't have to force myself to do this exposure therapy all the time. Like, I'm not saying that I'm never going to travel again, but it's like, when I think about what do I want as a person, I love having everything I need to survive in one little box on wheels. That is just so comforting to me and my anxiety, I think. Sometimes the driving anxiety still gets to me, but I think that just suits me better when I think about it. And who knows, maybe in 5 years it won't suit me and I'll want something different. But for right now, I think that's where I'm at. So if you're still here, I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around to me jibber-jabbering about my life. And let's get into me cleaning out my car, because I didn't clean it before I left 4 months ago. So, yeah. Catch up. Too many receipts. Empty water jugs. Well, almost empty. Okay, now that all the stuff's out, it's time to shop vac. Okay, the rest of the car actually wasn't that dirty. I'm surprised because I literally lived out of it for over 6 months, but the trunk is really where all of the dirt is. So let's take everything out. So I actually put this tarp down in the trunk when I first moved into my car to prevent all of the dirt from getting on the base of the trunk, and I'm very happy that I did that because, sorry, the lighting's terrible, but can you see how gross that is? Anyway, it's time to vacuum. Okay, so as much as I want to continue with the car cleaning right now and get my car ready to go, I can't really do anything else until my grandpa gets back and finds the tools in his garage that I need in order to take the passenger seat out. So either I'll end this video here or I'll insert some clips of me doing that in the future.